यतो दृष्टि ततो मनः, यतो मनः ततो भावः, यतो भावः ततो रसः. Where the eyes are, goes the mind, manah. Where the mind goes, there is an expression of inner feeling, bhava. And where there is bhava, mood or sentiment, rasa, is evoked. Though this verse is from the Natya Shastra, the ancient Sanskrit treatise on performing arts by Bharata Muni, it is as relevant to modern life as it has been to classical dance. Wondering why I began with this quote? Because today's book is full of bhava. Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another inspiring episode of BooksDotCom Lit Gyan with me, Subhashini. Continuing with the translation series, I bring you the review of an exceptional novel, Bhava, written by one of India's most celebrated writers, Udupi Rajagopalacharya Anantha Murthy, which is translated from Kannada by American poet, essayist and translator Judith Kroll, along with the author. U.R. Anantha Murthy was a contemporary writer and critic in Kannada and was considered as one of the pioneers of the Navya movement. He is the sixth person among 8 recipients of the Jnanpith Award for the Kannada language. In 2013, he was nominated for the Man Booker International Prize. Ananthamurthy's works have been translated into several Indian and European languages and have been awarded with important literary prizes. His main works include Samskara, Bhava, Bharatipura and Avaste. This story is based on rural Karnataka and interestingly begins in a train where 2 gentlemen are travelling, one old and one comparatively young. The 70-year-old Shastri is a reciter of Harikatha and the fellow traveller opposite to him is an Ayyappan pilgrim. Around this pilgrim's neck is a Sri Chakra amulet, which looks like one that belonged to Saroja, Shastri's first wife. But Shastri had killed Saroja years before. Then how could this be? If she might have survived, could this young man be Shastri's son? Seeing the amulet, Shastri goes into intense mental turmoil. The young man in Ayyappa pilgrim attire is Dinakar, a television star. Having faced too many hardships and failures in relationships, Dinakar is in search of his mother. He visits his old friend Narayan, and there too a similar story is revealed, where either Narayan or Dinakar could be the father of a young man called Prasad, who is destined for spiritual attainment. Shastri and Dinakar long for relief from uncertainty and anxiety. Their unsettled state of being is signaled by the fact that both wear costumes extravagantly at odds with their inner lives. Then, the plot gets just over to these 2 persons whom, without talking much, are affecting each other's perception. We see how these stories intermingle and how each one questions his existence and life. The interwoven lives of 3 generations play out variations on the same themes. Whose son am I? Whose father am I? Where are my roots? Both the lead characters have a lurking suspicion that above is true, but neither is sure. While Shastri's soul-searching never amounts to much more than wondering why I am like this, Dinakar uses his intellect in trying to comprehend what is happening to him. These mysteries of the past and present are explored, but none of the mystery is solved in the novel. All characters are searching the meaning of their lives and are engrossed in unraveling the riddle of life. None succeeds, but then author does not even mean them to do it. He tries to find the answers for the problems caused by their actions, tries to find meaning to their existence and their eventual acceptance. The only unconflicted character that we come across in this book is Sitama, Narayan's mother, who has the most harmonious attitude, brimming with wisdom which she conveys through her food and rangoli. How Sitama steams kadabu in cups of jackfruit leaves and serves them with 3 different types of chutneys to Dinakar is a visual treat to read. For Dinakar, Sitama's unquestioning acceptance of herself and her life is magical. As her son Narayan Tantri says, for her, there will be no rebirth. She lives in this bhava without being of it. The word bhava, derived from Sanskrit, means both being and becoming. Each of the characters go through this process of being and becoming. You are given an insight into their inner workings, the demons and the worries that plague them, and then the slow resolution and acceptance of life that they come to eventually. In this process, you are also drawn into their embrace. You realize that you are becoming too. It is depressing and morose at some places, but powerful in making one think and retrospect. In Bhava, Anantha Murthy traces a psychological and at times metaphysical journey into this process of becoming. An old man meets a young man on a train. Their paths cross, their stories intersect, different mysteries emerge, but none are ever solved. Yet, as the reader, you will find towards the end that you are not looking for the answers anyway. Most of Anantha Murthy's literary works deal with the psychological aspects of people in different situations, times, and circumstances. His writings supposedly analyze aspects ranging from challenges and changes faced by Brahmin families of Karnataka to bureaucrats dealing with politics influencing their work. Anantha Murthy had trouble with the translation, and Judith Kroll has done a commendable job of it. A few say it is a great read in Kannada as certain nuances and underlying emotions are lost in the translation. But as the author was also involved in the translation, I guess the book hasn't lost its beauty, though I haven't read the original in Kannada. Bhava is part thriller, part philosophy. It's a compelling tale of mystery, passion, and spiritual exploration. We see many questions unanswered, as highlighted in the afterword. There are many lessons in the book, only if one appreciates the subtleties and gives themselves a fighting chance. One of the characters from this book says, when ripe, the cocoon bursts, and when ripe, a person can be transformed, can turn over. Similarly, I would recommend reading this book only when you are ripe to handle philosophy, because at some places I felt this book is meant for serious literature readers and those willing to try the beauty and depths of Indian literature. A great read if you want to understand the treatment of deep philosophies of human emotions and Indian literature. It is quite a literary work that makes you think and rethink issues around life, one's existence, and the fluid path between doubt and acceptance. What is the purpose of life? How should we go about living our lives? This book does not answer these questions, but does show the contradictions of life by narrating the lives of the protagonists and spotlights the individual caught in the web of being, of samsara. So we are led to consider that samsara, the world of illusions and embodiment, may not be very different from sunya, the emptiness from which everything arises. It's a short book, and in 184 pages, Bhava reflects the path from doubts of the self, the questions that we as individuals have, to one of acceptance and surrender, reconcilement, and then holding peace with what we finally come near to as answers. Hope you liked my review. If you're listening this on Spotify or Apple, please do rate and review our show, and also consider following us. This would help us a lot to reach more lovely people like you. And you know where to find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to share your comments and book suggestions. You can also write to me at BooksDotCom-Insightful@gmail.com. Thank you for staying tuned till the end. See you in the next episode of Books.com. Till then, sayonara.